Hello, welcome back to Initial Speed. I'm your host, Phil. Today we're doing an interview with another guy and his car. Thanks for tuning in.
Hi, my name is Anthony. This is my 2010 Hyundai Genesis Coupe 2.0T. I chose this platform because I like the idea of the turbocharged engine. I find that the 2.0T has a lot more workable room than the six cylinder. So there's so many different options in terms of turbo. I got a bigger turbo in this, so there's just more that you can do with it. So much that I don't even know if I can remember it all. So I have obviously the 20-inch TIS rims. I have mostly ISR Pro control arms on the front and on the rear. I have a stage 2 clutch, which is also the clutch disc, the pressure plate, the single mass flywheel. I have a TD05 turbo from Canugua. So I have that with a stage 2 tune. I did a bunch of body work. So the bumper here is a Cooper kit, but even the Cooper kit is highly modified. And I have a custom front splitter that I built with the mounting brackets that I also fabricated. On the front and on the rear, I have the aftermarket headlights and tail lights from Spec D. I got a custom dual double DIN head unit. So the top screen is connected to the ECU and spits out all the data, so I can have any gauge that I can get the data from on the top screen. And the bottom screen, I have the just entertainment system. I have two 10-inch subwoofers in the trunk with a Pioneer amp. Probably some more stuff that I can't even remember. So I'm sort of building this, I'm more of I would say I'm a form and function guy, so everything that I do has a purpose for the most part, and it's built for the use case. So most of the driving that I do with this car is on the highway, because I work out of town and I do a lot of road trips and stuff like that. So sort of like a long distance cruiser, also a daily driver, but something that I can enjoy myself on the weekend with, and go out with my crew and go do some spirited driving. So it's sort of those three use cases put into one. So right now, I would say that the build is a little bit more than halfway done. In the end, I'm trying to have it at stage 3 and then just leave it there. So right now, I'm at stage 2. I have to rebuild the internals of the engine. And once I do that, I can fully open up the turbo and retune it at stage 3. In the end, it'll be that with a wide body kit, and that'll be it. I want to keep it as a daily driver. I think having too much power on a daily driver is a little bit inefficient. Sometimes I think 450 would be top end of where I would want to go. I'm thinking around 400 I would be happy with. There's a digital boost controller by Go Fast Bits, the G-Force 3, so I can sort of turn it up and turn it down. So that's a plus, but for the most part, I think 400, 450 would be where I'd want to go. I would say rebuilding the front end. So the front end is actually a product of an accident, sort of accident. I was driving on the highway. I hit a coyote, and that was with the Cooper bumper, so the already aftermarket bumper. And the whole bottom part of the bumper got torn off. So when I took a look at it, I thought to myself, well, I could either order a new one and wait for it to get here, and they take like, when I bought this, I think it took like 8 months or so for the bumper to get here, because it ships from overseas and it ships in a freight container on a boat. So rather than wait that time to get a new one, why don't I see if I can rebuild it and like actually build it into something totally custom? The Cooper kit, I think there's like 2 or 3 other ones in the GTA that I know of. So I was like, why don't I see if I can build something that nobody has? So that's when I started doing some research and development to see what I can build. And I started started building the carbon fiber splitter, and then started trying to see how I can fabricate the mounting brackets and so on. And I had to take the bumper off, and I had to mold new plastic onto it. So from, I would say around here down was all gone, and on the other side as well. This middle part was like all mangled up. So I had to like figure out like what type of materials I would have to use to like sort of rebuild it, and like what I could use to mold, like what material is gonna be the best to use, right? So I looked into different plastics because this is ABS plastic. So I had to figure out like what is going to work with ABS, what sort of chemicals would I have to use to mold it. So doing all that research, I came into finding high impact styrene, which it comes in a roll. It's pretty malleable, and a solvent, I should say, called methyl ethyl something. The K, I can't remember what it stands for. Methyl ethyl ketone or something like that. And it's a solvent, and once you put it onto the ABS plastic or the styrene and you put it together, it fuses the two materials together, rather than using a glue that would just glue it together. So I did all the research and that, started rebuilding it. The inside of this is reinforced now with carbon fiber. So if you take it off, it's all carbon fiber on the inside of it. And of course the splitter, and the splitter underneath is Kevlar. So it's indestructible, basically. And it'll provide functional downforce provided that I put an air dam. So if I ever want to track it, I can put a removable sort of air dam there to just cover up basically the two side holes, and keep the middle open for the radiator and intercooler. But I mean, yeah, like that's probably the most ambitious bodywork project that I've ever done. It's not perfect, but I think it came out pretty good. So yeah, it doesn't even look like a Genesis anymore. So yeah, I think that would be it.
And that was a great interview. Beautiful. Thank you very much, Anthony, for sitting with us and giving us a little insight to your build. And thank you to each and every one of you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Costs you nothing, and it helps us out, helps us smaller channels out. Do it. Do it. Thank you. Take care.